Bengals Pod post Super Bowl reaction. I am sad, but hopeful.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a therapy session for all the fans out there and for myself, who's still down about the game. We can get through this together. For me, I was kind of in shock. Like that fourth, I was convinced that we were going to win the game the whole time. And, I mean, we can go into the game a little bit, but, like, there were just signature moments that felt like a Super Bowl signature, like the Joe Mixon throwing a touchdown,
Right.
Jesse Bates picking off Matt Stafford in the end zone.
Right.
Like, it felt like it was going to happen.
It did.
And it felt like we were going to go down the field and at least score a field goal and force overtime, and then just suddenly it didn't. And it all happened like it should have. Like, our offensive line got exposed because the Rams had a better defensive line, and at the end of the day, that's why we lost the game. And that's why I'm in a little bit of acceptance right now, just because of that fact. We were supposed to lose. It sucks, but we got some areas that we got to improve upon for sure.
Yeah, the game was there for us. Yeah. We had it. We really set ourselves up, and, it was there. It was really there. The Super Bowl was there. Could have been world champions if, we did some things differently or some things to happen differently.
Do we talk about the 3rd and 1 yet? I mean, running with Samaje Perine.
Yeah, we could just say it.
What are we doing, Zach? Come on, we're giving Zach Taylor so much love. What are we doing?
It's like he's always said the right things, and one of the reasons he's always said they weren't good the last 2 years is because they don't have the right players. They didn't have the right players, especially on defense. That's true. But you want to talk about having the right players. You have Joe Mixon, one of the best running backs in the league, and you're trying to drive to be world champions, and you're not using the guy when he's averaging 4.9 yards per rush against an elite defensive line, horrible offensive line. He's having an incredible game, maybe one of his best games all year, and he's had an incredible stretch this year and season this year, as it is. And you don't give him the ball on these two crucial plays of the game. Yeah, I was screaming. I couldn't believe it. But we've kind of seen that all year is Perine has gotten important carries. They've treated him like he's a true number 2 back to Mixon, but there's no excuse for that, and I just hope that he learned his lesson there and that we can come back next year and know that, you got to get Mixon these at least 20 carries, because if you did, that's the difference in that game.
Yeah, I hope Zach Taylor is waking up in the middle of the night.
Right. Should have given it to me. But then there's also other moments in the red zone where they didn't score, and that was haunting them all playoffs too. As we said that coming into the games, they have to fix that. They didn't.
You know what I was thinking too? It's obviously the offensive line, Joe didn't have any time, and we had to rely on those big plays to get us the points. I feel like they never really got in a good rhythm, driving the ball up the field like the Rams did on that last
That's
possession.
why I'm surprised you were so confident, Matt, that we were going to win. I kept feeling like even with that lead, if we got the ball back, it was just so hard to move it against their front. That in the second half especially, they just kept building up more and more momentum, even though we kind of started off the half really well. They just kept getting pressure throughout.
Yeah, I mean, our offense wasn't great. That's ultimately why we lost. Our touchdown in the second half came off a really bad no call, where T definitely got Ramsey's face mask. I don't even know if he would have had to do that. I think he probably could have caught it over Ramsey anyway, but that's how we got our touchdown in the second half, off a blown call. If we're being real, we were struggling.
People are saying there was an offsides on that one that they didn't call, and Ramsey was contacting him before, so it would have been offsetting, or it should have been a free play. Both of those actually. So, it was a crazy game officiating wise, but it wasn't I don't think you can blame the refs for anything.
Well, I haven't seen that, so I'm going to take that and run with it as a Bengals fan, that it should have been offsetting and it should have counted anyway. So I'll take that back. But then, obviously, if we're talking about the refs just real quick, that Logan Wilson hold was horrible. Yeah. That was a horrible call. That's what ended up costing us the game. And I think that was supposed to be a makeup call. But come on, at that point in the game, you can't call that.
For the previous play where Pratt actually held Henderson. But they weren't throwing flags on those. That was happening all day to everybody, and they weren't throwing flags.
Right, like earlier in the game, Higgins should have had that touchdown, but Ramsey held his jersey or held his shirt. Like earlier in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about in the red zone?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what I was gonna get at with my point about thinking they were gonna win, like our offense was stalling, but so was the Rams. Like for the whole game, our defense played lights out, and the Rams couldn't really move the ball either. They really just had that last drive where they were finally moving and giving it to Kupp, and we had no answer. I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's just the way he lines up that he had to be on Eli Apple, but that's just such a mismatch. Like, I don't know how that happens. How do you let Eli Apple cover one-on-one?
When you're on the goal line, you're in zero coverage because you can't let them run it. Especially they've been showing they're willing to run, even though they've been unsuccessful all game to that point. Right, so you have to be in zero coverage. I agree with you. I mean, maybe you'd probably rather have Awuzie on him there. Maybe that's like one-on-one. Or Hilton. But
yeah. I mean, we don't know like the ins and outs of their scheme. Like I don't know if there's you'd think there's a way to just say Eli Apple, you're not going to cover Cooper Kupp. Like
that's one of the holes of this team, though. It's been as well as Eli Apple's played and overcome all the negativity around him. Like he has played well, gotten them to the Super Bowl. That was like coming in this year. It's supposed to be Trey Waynes. It's supposed to be like a highly paid cornerback that they got in free agency.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. They're obviously fixing the offensive line is priority number one.
Yeah, because
1B to like signing Jesse Bates.
Because let's be real too. When OBJ was in, he was shredding us. So I feel like we needed that offensive line just to be able to compete with them, so we could shred them back. Like Joe had no time at all that whole game. Like he was just making quick decisions.
Yeah, I really think you could just bring Eli Apple back on like another 1-year prove-it deal for him, and then franchise Jesse Bates, work on an extension, and just aggressively go offensive line, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could trade away your picks, you could draft every single one of them offensive linemen. That's what I want to see.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Apple back just because him being the starting corner, the defense was still great. So, like, they didn't lose because Eli Apple was their number 2 corner. Like, that's fine. If they want to save money at the corner position so they can spend it on the offensive line, I'm fine. But, I mean, Jesse Bates, I've seen enough from him at this point where don't franchise tag him, just extend him. Like, let's just get that guy locked up. Like, he had a disappointing regular season, but he was the best player on defense the whole playoffs.
Just highest paid safety. Boom, bam.
Pay him.
Boom, bam. Now let's go offensive line. I agree with you there. Yeah.
Give him the bag. You can save money at corner if you want, and then put the rest of the money at the offensive line for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like I was worried when Joe was screaming in pain. I thought he tore his ACL again.
Oh my gosh! Everyone thought that was a bad injury. I don't know how he got back up from that.
He doesn't need surgery. He'll be fine. He said he didn't even let anybody look at it or get treatment. He's like, no one's gonna take me out of this game.
Dad had a funny joke. He was like, Brandon Allen was asking him, like, are you good? And Joe's just like, get away from me. Unless you can block.
Yeah, Joe just looked like pissed all game.
Yeah, he didn't have his best game. And can you blame him? I mean, he's a young player, and he's just getting wrecked. I mean, it's the longest season in NFL history as it is. Thank God we got in the position that we did so we could rest him, because who knows if he would have made it to that game. It's another testament to how great he is and why I think he's number 1 quarterback in the league still. It's overcoming that, getting hit so much and being a fighter. You know, I think if they get aligned, we'll see the best Joe Burrow. We'll see the best version of him, especially with this experience. You know, if we want to start being positive now, Joe Burrow has Super Bowl experience and he's undefeated in the postseason. So those are real stats.
Well, he's not undefeated.
Postseason.
He just lost.
I mean, that's not postseason. That's Super Bowl.
It's postseason. It's after the season.
It's not playoffs.
Playoffs.
He's undefeated in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought postseason was
think,
playoffs, but I guess you're right.
I guess. I think it's still a playoff game, technically.
You could call it pre-season, pre-2023 season.
Postseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still undefeated.
Yeah.
He's undefeated in non-Super Bowl playoff games.
Yeah.
I think Joe, top 5 for sure. I mean, he would have had to win this game for me to comfortably say he's the best in the league, but give him an offensive line, and we'll see. We'll see for sure. I think he'll make some damage.
Matt, do you think that Stafford is better than Mahomes?
No, definitely not.
See, I do.
I don't think Stafford played that well. He played really well on the last drive.
He showed me that he's more resilient than Mahomes, because we beat Mahomes the same way twice, and Stafford was actually able to score on us in the second half.
I mean, Mahomes we definitely stopped Mahomes and we flustered him, but I mean, given his track record, Mahomes is definitely better. I mean, he's been in 2 Super Bowls already and won 1.
I just think this Bengals team is so good, so it's a good measuring stick for quarterbacks, how they do against us.
Also, I mean, the Chiefs scored more points than the Rams against us, right? The Chiefs had 24.
Yeah, but they didn't win.
Yeah. But if the offense did better.
On paper, yeah, Mahomes, he'll score points, but can he win games against the Bengals? He has not proven that.
I don't know.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say yes or no. Go either way on that. I think Matt Stafford just proved he's a top 5 quarterback. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. The Rams had a lot of guys with Hall of Fame stakes there in that situation, and they all got it done. Really, hats off to the Rams. I'm not going to say that we blew it.
Respect.
But you give Joe Mixon 3 more carries in that game. It's a whole different ball game. That's all I'm saying. That's all. Everyone, I think, Cincinnati Bengals fans across the world are saying.
But I don't think Stafford proved anything. I'm not a Stafford hater, but I mean, he threw 2 picks. He's pretty inaccurate. Even on that last drive, he missed a wide open touchdown that would have won it for him before. I'm not ready to say Stafford's top 5. I don't know. I thought he executed when he needed to, but he wasn't excellent all game. Our defense did a pretty good job.
He was excellent to get them to that point, though, for sure. A lot of people said he was the best quarterback in the playoffs, and if you like stats, you probably agree with that. I mean, you look into those numbers and who we played, the secondaries were pretty suspect, but he still had a really great run. Give him credit. Top 5 arm for sure in the league. The top 3 arm in the league. Arm talent.
Yeah, I'll be clear. I like Matt Stafford. I have a lot of respect for him. That he beat us. I don't want to sound like a sore loser and say he's not good. He's good. I guess I'm just not ready to say he proved to be a top 5 quarterback. But I think he beat us, and respect to him. He's a great quarterback. I'll leave it at that.
Have you looked at the free agents yet?
Just on Twitter, I've seen names come up.
Yeah.
My friends have texted me about we should sign Brandon Sheriff. It feels like he's never gonna leave Washington, but that would be awesome.
Yeah, I feel like them being called the Commanders, no one's gonna want to play for a team called the Commanders.
I really want to. Yeah.
So.
I don't hate the Commanders. I don't hate it. I think it kind of has a nice ring to it.
It's bland.
It's Joe Biden's dog's name.
Commander. All right, no, Commander.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully he's had enough there. Are there any top tier tackles? Isn't who's a free agent? There's one guy who's an age veteran, right? That's a free agent.
Cam Robinson, Teron Armstead. Teron Armstead's really good.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Teron Armstead. Oh gosh, I hope we pay him. I hope.
Jesse Bates?
Do we?
Or Teron Armstead?
No, Armstead.
Yes, you're right. I think, Jonah Williams is a guard. That could be one of the big missing things, is you can keep Spain
Yeah.
Maybe put Spain at right guard or Jonah Williams at right guard, but that's it's not just the right guard and right tackle that need to be replaced.
Yeah, Jonah did not play well. I saw the stats after the game. He was not good enough. Which is disappointing because he's always been our guy, but like, come on, you gotta show up in the big games.
Yeah, he could just be out of position. He could be just better suited for guard.
I feel like he'd be an elite guard too.
Yeah,
he'd be great.
Yep.
But then we need 2 new tackles at that point. But fine, if you can find 2 top tier tackles, do it.
It's crazy, man, because like that game, it's like Joe Burrow got sacked by the Titans line 9 times, and it's like he learned something from that. The offense learned something, like Zach Taylor, the team learned from that, and he wasn't sacked 9 times this game, but the Rams line is better than the Titans line, and we're this close with this team. Like, it's crazy how good this team is, that we almost beat the best team in the league with the line that we had.
Right, that's
really
what I was saying earlier.
testament.
It's like to Joe Burrow's testament. Like that's why he's
Yeah.
I think the best quarterback, because you can't put anybody else behind that line and be sure that they can get you to that point. We just saw him do it, and I guess we'll see next year. That's what we'll have to see, is if they upgrade it, what he can do. Be the true test.
I mean, it's crazy because it's just a testament to our defense, like I said before. Like, okay, so we scored 26 points in the wild card round, 19 points in the divisional round, 27 in the conference championship, and 20 in the Super Bowl. Like, the fact we didn't like go on scoring rampages in any of these games in the playoffs. And who would have thought, like, our defense, give Lou Arunumo a head coaching job, Nick? I think you're right. Like, what he's done with this group, I don't even know if that part needs to be changed. Like,
right. Yeah, that's why you re-signed Jesse Bates.
Corner. I don't know. Get another rotational edge rusher, definitely could be good. Although they got what's his name coming back next year,
right,
who they just drafted. Yeah, I can't wait for that. That'll be awesome. Hopefully he can get healthy.
Yeah, he'll probably compete.
So I don't even know if they need to do that.
I think they need just probably, more competition at some spots like cornerback, but yeah, the line is definitely set. If you bring back Ogunjobi, you feel good about that coming into next year. Cornerback, you bring back Apple, then another guy to compete with him. Definitely feel good about that. I think Hargraves, he's got to go.
Yeah, cut him yesterday.
Yeah. Trey Waynes is probably gone. He's probably not the guy. I mean, we just saw him lose out to Eli Apple, so you want to bring in fresh competition, like I just said.
Oh, Trey Wayne's for sure going to be a salary cap casualty.
Yeah.
He's done nothing. They need to create some room.
And then the only other spot on the roster that needs help other than the offensive line is, I think, backup quarterback. Is just bring Colin Kaepernick in and call it a day. Give him a nice...
We know there's no chance of that.
Yeah, no, they're not getting Cap.
Mike Brown would never sign Colin Kaepernick. Never.
Well, it's up to Joe Burrow now. And Joe Burrow is the first white quarterback to be openly Black Lives Matter. So it wouldn't surprise me if he told the organization, you have to do this.
That'd be funny. I don't know. I just remember when we tried to sign Eric Reed, and Mike Brown asked him if he was gonna sit or kneel during the anthem, and he said he was gonna kneel. So Mike Brown was just like, "Okay, we won't sign you." That's not gonna happen. He's an old-fashioned guy still, but who knows? Maybe Burrow does have that pull. I don't think Kaepernick would be the guy anyway, but maybe they could draft someone or sign someone else. I kind of feel like they love Brandon Allen though. They seem like to be all like best buddies with him. He's good at coin tosses too.
I think he's probably funny. He's got good jokes, a good spirit. But yeah, we need someone else. It'd be cool if we could get like Jalen Hurts if the Eagles get rid of him.
He'd
be a good backup.
He'd be a great backup. I kind of think he's good enough to start on like a bad team.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles are going to find a new quarterback and still have a role for Hurts.
Yeah.
They have him on a nice deal. He's proven to be good at running the ball at least.
Maybe we'll get Marcus Mariota.
Okay,
Speaking of backup
here we
guys.
go.
Yeah.
I'm looking at free agents, quarterbacks going into next year. Number 14, Andy Dalton, is a free agent.
Yeah,
I said this
I was
before.
thinking maybe, but I don't know if you want his energy.
Come on. You'd be a perfect backup for this team. He was so
He
good
is-
as a
he is-
backup
He's never
for Chicago.
proven that he can play in the playoffs, though.
Who has that you're going to get
we
that's a
need
backup?
Case Keenum or someone like that. You know, someone who has playoff win experience.
Case Keenum sucks, too.
That's
He
what I'm
just had
saying,
a lucky
Cap.
year.
I mean, he has playoff Super Bowl experience. So.
Yeah, but he's also a distraction. Like he's out for himself, like his own brand. You know,
He
we
doesn't
need.
seem like a, yeah.
I think the ideal backup quarterback is like someone who won a playoff game in like 2014 or something. Like someone who has experience in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, my heart just is telling me Andy Dalton, like how, if Joe Burrow ever went down and we could have a run with Andy Dalton, how fun would that be? Like, and honestly, looking at the other options, I think he is the best, maybe Fitzpatrick, like he's the best guy on the market.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd rather
say
have
he doesn't have the
Fitzpatrick.
playoff wins, but we can blame that on Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, like I said this, but like Andy Dalton hasn't proven that he can win a playoff game.
He's not coming back for a lot of reasons, guys. I mean, it wasn't a great goodbye. He loves the city, loves the community, but I don't think, getting benched on your birthday, and some of the other things, I just don't think it's a great fit. He could probably compete somewhere for a starting job in this league, and that's probably what he wants to do while he still can. I think the Bengals backup has to just be a guy kind of like Brandon Allen, who we don't really know about, who's okay with being a backup quarterback.
I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe the bridge is burned at this point, but maybe they can rehash it and make it work. I don't know. That's just what my heart wants. But I also said that about Tino Atkins, and there was no chance that was ever going to happen. So, who knows? Mitch Trubisky's a free agent too. He'd be good.
Just need competition. I mean, bring some people in.
Yeah,
A couple guys in.
I'm with that. Yeah.
You just let them compete.
Well, you're not. If you're bringing guys in for a backup quarterback, you're not going to pay big money for any of these guys you're going to have to pay a bit for.
Well, that's what. Well, you could bring in one guy. You could pay one high-priced backup guy to compete with Brandon Allen, and then you could call it a day. If he does beat him out, it works out that way.
Yeah, but you're not. My point is, like, you're not going to bring in like a Jameis Winston. You're going to have to sign him to guaranteed money. He's not going to be competing for any role. You're not going to drop him.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a competition, that's probably like drafting a guy in the 5th round. That's what that would mean. Or bringing in Tim Boyle, or something like that.
Right. Yeah, we'll see.
They could definitely improve from Brandon Allen, but my gut tells me that he just stays because they like him. They think he's a nice guy.
All right. Anything else, guys?
I'll look up what the Super Bowl odds are for next year. Kind of curious.
Right. Yeah, it's a good idea.
We will be back.
Let's see. Bengals have the 4th best odds. Nice. Okay. Plus 1,200. So the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Rams all have better odds. But that's honestly pretty good for us for not even doing anything in the offseason yet to have the 4th best odds to win the Super Bowl. I mean, we're finally getting some respect, so that's pretty cool.
It's gonna go down. You could wait on that. I would tell.
I don't think it's going to go down. I think it's only going to go up once they start making moves.
I'm going to wait on that. It's just going to keep going up. Because other teams get better, and the narrative is just going to be about other teams. Because right now about the Super Bowl, I haven't really been paying attention to what people are saying. I haven't been able to do that yet because of the sting. And like the pain and just being pissed.
Oh yeah.
But
I haven't looked at one media outlet yet as far as football.
But I know that it's just going to be like, oh, the Bengals blew it, and like the Rams were the best team all year. Like they really great organization, made the perfect moves. When in reality, I think it should still be like the Bengals are a really good organization. They have a really bright future, and they did everything right to get to this point. But if you're a Bengals fan, you should still be looking forward to this thing wearing off, and you'll still be upset about it, but you'll know that we have the team to get there next year. Making the right moves, God willing. There's all this luck that has to go into it that went our way, and all the good vibes that happened. To get to this point was crazy, but there's no reason not to believe that everyone's on this team will just work their tails off, learn from the mistakes, use this experience. Front office will get better, as they just did, and we'll keep this thing going the next few years. So
I think that's kind of the perception already, to be honest. Just like with talking to at least my friends who are non-Bengals fans, I don't watch that much. I haven't watched TV after the Super Bowl too. You're right, it's definitely for a Bengals fan too soon. But, I mean, everyone knows that it's insane that we even got here, and all you have to do is fix the offensive line, and then we're a juggernaut. So I think that's already the perception. That's already why we're fourth best odds.
No, but everyone saw that we could have won that game, too.
Right.
That we are the fourth best odds to win the Super Bowl right now. That makes sense. That it shouldn't change. That'll probably, like I said, get worse, but we'll see what we do. So.
I mean, I don't know. The Niners are behind us. I don't see what the Niners could do other than do something crazy at quarterback to improve their odds. The Packers, I guess the Packers are so low because nobody knows about Aaron Rodgers. So that'll be whatever happens with that will really dictate their line.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see. We'll have off-season pods to talk about all that too.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be fun to look at that, because that it's tough to do mock drafts because you really don't know, and the Bengals are so secret. Same thing for free agents, but every year in my life they've gotten more and more aggressive, and it's gotten to the point now where they have Joe Burrow and people want to play for him. They just went to the Super Bowl. People want a chance to win Super Bowls. We've proven we can do it. They should want to come.
Yeah, this really is best case scenario. I mean, I guess winning the Super Bowl would have been best case scenario.
So yeah, people now realize that the Bengals are for real. They realize that it's a place where you could thrive, and it wasn't like that before. But I mean, remember when they traded for Corey Glenn? That didn't work out, but I could see them doing that with their first round pick again, or something. Just being super aggressive and just adding to the offensive line.
They really should. They hate trading, but they did do the BJ Hill trade too, and the Cordy Glenn years ago.
Right.
But what I would do in Madden, definitely trade your first round pick, trade another pick, and get one of those solid guys that you can plug in. Because I'm not trusting anyone with the 31st pick, like some rookie tackle, to protect Joe Burrow. We're at such a low spot at this point where I don't know if you can trust any of those guys to just plug and play. Might as well trade it if you can find someone, a bad team that has a good offensive lineman that's willing to make that trade. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, and then again, there's good options in free agency. You said Sheriff, Armstead. There's other guys too, and they will be active. They will do their due diligence. We have the good scouting department. It's a small scouting department, but they always say quality over quantity, and that's no doubt true. I mean, we just got to the Super Bowl with that, so. See?
Yeah. Do you guys think there's a lot of good centers too that are available? Do you think they'll move on from Hopkins? Because he played, I saw he played the best out of the offensive line during the whole playoff run.
Was he the guy that was helping out on Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him.
He was solid, and I mean he was battling through an injury.
That's not the priority.
Too.
Yeah, the priority is the two tackles. Is right guard and the two tackles. I think you could fix the guard by putting Spain over there or putting Williams over there, and then you got to get a left tackle, and then you want competition at right tackle, but you could even bring Reef back. I would try to upgrade from Reef, but because I think Prince was actually an upgrade from Reef. But you need to find competition at offensive line primarily for sure.
Yeah, I don't even like saying competition because that just insinuates that there's not a guy that's good enough to just rise to the top and that they would have paid.
What I mean it
just
as
pay.
is even the guys that you sign, there needs to be guys behind them. It just needs to be that kind of culture where everyone's pushing each other.
I mean, just hold on to Prince. I mean, Isaiah Prince is a fine backup right tackle, you
Right.
know?
I agree with that.
Yeah. Do you guys think, do you think Gronk's going to come to the Bengals?
Who knows?
That'd be hilarious. I would love that. Him and, I mean, they got to make a decision. I guess CJ's a free agent, but I don't see why they couldn't bring in both of them. They need 2 tight ends.
I think he wants to play for Joe Burrow, but he doesn't want to play in the AFC North.
Why not? He's a physical guy.
Because he's an older guy now. I mean,
Gronk
I think
seems
that,
like the guy who would love that.
right. I think it would actually work, especially because we got Sample and Uzama, where we could just make him like a situational piece weapon.
Just red
Secret
zone. We need
weapon.
red zone targets. And Gronk's the perfect
that's
guy.
true. He would be the difference. He'd be the key right there for our red zone. That would unlock
He'd be
everything if we had him. Yeah.
Like our 2015 Tyler Eifert.
Because I think,
Literally.
well, not even that. I think just his ability to block. I think a lot of our red zone success this year came from Nixon. It was the run game, actually. When we went to tight ends in the red zone, that was where a lot of our runs, I feel like, broke for touchdowns and
Not so much for the pass. So he could do both definitely, but having him and Uzama at the same time would be crazy.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know if he was serious about that, but that would just be hilarious. That'd be fun.
Yeah, They made such Bengals media made such a big deal out of that. It could have just been an off the cuff comment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe Joe Burrow's gonna be like, let me see what this was for real. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't.
Maybe
but
he'll reach
let me
out.
reach out, be like, hey,
He
I
should.
saw that. It's really cool of you, but for real though. Let's
Do it.
down.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I'm down. We need you. Let's do it.
I thought of a better name for the Commanders.
What?
The Schneiders. Like the Browns.
The Schneiders.
Yeah.
The fans would love that. I do love the the nicknames that are coming out of it are hilarious. Like they're just being called the commies.
That's a good one in DC.
Yeah. DC commies.
I'm gonna call them that.
Anything else you guys got? One thing I just wanted to mention, my favorite thing about this whole run that they went on, is the spotlight that Evan McPherson got. Now, if you look at at least before the game, and there's no way this changed since, but he's now the number 2 at least kicker in the league. It's him and Justin Tucker are in their own tier, as far as what the media thinks at least, and I would agree with that. That's pretty cool. Nobody would have said that before.
He just needs to stay consistent and hit some 60-yarders to be considered better than Tucker.
I think he can. They've actually never let him try, but he could definitely nail this.
He definitely can. Yeah, he said in high school he hit 70 something from 70, right? So.
Yeah. Did you guys listen to the Pardon My Take when he was on there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was saying he can nail 70 plus, but that's also just on turf,
Right
probably.
conditions, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right conditions, just
Right.
warming up. But I mean, I think he'd be good. The way he was talking on there, he feels like he could set the NFL record if they give him a chance. 67 or whatever it is. But yeah, no, that was pretty cool. I love to see him get that spotlight.
Yeah, I mean he's a star for sure. He puts
Yeah.
points on the board. He's efficient. He's got a boot. And apparently Jake was telling me he was watching the halftime show. He just left the locker room.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Just him smiling.
He mentioned that during the interview. It's as a kicker, he doesn't even need to be there during the halftime, whatever happens at halftime, so he just hangs out and watches the halftime show.
Right,
So
it's
that's
not
pretty
like Zach Taylor's going over the strategy and he's like, McPherson, make sure you hit it with the laces.
cool. Yeah. Not much else to say. Just keep
Right.
doing your thing, dude. You guys got
Pain.
anything else? We gotta run soon.
Pain but hope. That's how I
Yeah,
opened
I
it, that's
mean-
how I'm going to end it.
Once we get over this little pain, we'll be ready for the off season, and
Right.
make some moves, be right back there.
I mean, we need to be able to celebrate the season. That's what Joe Burrow said. It's, let the pain sink in and feel it and everything, but don't take this season for granted. This was a very special season.
Very special season.
And
yeah, we're gonna look back at this season for a long time.
Yeah, this is our favorite Bengals team ever. For all of us, for sure.
Yeah. We didn't address this. I was gonna say jinxes that went into it. Maybe our pod last week could have been a little bit of a jinx. We were a little. I know I said some things that were jinx-like, and our cousin Ben Gilman. We can give the blame to him for jinxing during the group chat, like in the middle of the game. He's like, Matt Stafford will never win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I
Sam
didn't even see that. That's tough.
Very pissed. It's like, you can't do that.
So Ben, if you're listening, this is your fault, potentially.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as pod jinxes, I don't think we could have jinxed them because Nick was calling us a dynasty like before the playoffs even started. So if that didn't jinx us, I don't think anything else on the pod could have.
A dynasty is, it's a contested term. We can debate that on another episode if you want what a dynasty is. But I think just simply going to the Super Bowl consistently, I call that dynasty.
No, dynasty is pretty simple. You got to win a bunch of Super Bowls, I think, and at least be there.
You need some Super Bowls, but it is about being. Yeah, I guess to be a true dynasty, you need to win them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think we could definitely be a dynasty of the AFC North. I don't see anyone taking that from us soon.
Right. Yeah.
I can't wait to see
in the AFC in general. I think that we can keep beating out these other teams, despite them having great quarterbacks.
They have weaknesses throughout their defenses and their roster that we really don't have. I mean, we're actually the deeper team, and that's not the narrative. People don't want to admit that's true, but we actually have options beyond just having better starters than a lot of these teams. But, I mean, I guess the stats don't always back that up for some people, because you look at what you want to look at. We'll just have to see, like I keep saying.
Yeah, I'm hyped to see. My prediction is that in the draft we'll see first pick for the Browns, cornerback. First pick for the Steelers, cornerback. First pick for the Ravens, cornerback. Everyone's going to need to find some way in their secondary to defend our guys.
Yeah, Ramsey wasn't really able to do shit. Did you guys? I mean, I think everybody saw this. Jamar was open on the last play. We made him fall down.
Yeah, we never even touched that. That was the most painful part when I saw that yesterday.
Yeah.
Jamar, just 2 more seconds we would have won the game. But that goes back to the whole thing about our offensive line wasn't good enough. So, man, what are you going to do? I do think Jamar is going to be the best wide receiver in the NFL next season. That's my prediction. He was so good as a rookie. Give him one off season where he's already been in the NFL. He's going to be the best.
I love him. I love the kid.
I think, we'll see all of their numbers will go up, which is crazy. I think Boyd will have 1,000 yards. Just another year in the system. He'll get his 1,000. Higgins, he can get more. He didn't have as many catches as we expected. And Jamar, nobody expected him to be this. So definitely, he'll just get better.
So draft all of them in fantasy.
Yeah, now definitely you can't go wrong with any of them.
Yeah. All right. Anything you guys got? Anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Okay.
Good
My
stuff.
last words. Pay Jesse Bates.